The OG intro. Boy, I haven't heard that intro in a minute, man. But with that being said, you already know what it is. We are back here to serve some more game on the ground for them Hunger Hounds. So just got the pound and are ready for the next round. Let me go ahead and turn that off so it doesn't interfere with the connection of my stream. But with that being said, you guys can see the title of this episode, this live, whatever you want to call it. We're going to be checking out 3 different videos, 3 different topics, whatever. The first one being a video about Bible prophecy. This is going to be interesting. I saw it probably the first, 5 seconds of it. And I'm not sure. But I have to do some more reading to freshen my memory on it. But it talks about how near the end times or whatever, I think it said 1/3 of the world's water will turn to blood. I could be wrong. I could be getting that mixed up with something else. Or I could be getting 2 different parts of the Bible mixed up with each other. I'm pretty sure that's what it says, but I could be wrong. Like I said, I have to do some more research on it. But if that is the case, I'll tell y'all my thoughts on it once we get into it. First of all, let's go ahead and get it up on here first. Boom. And boom. Just like that. Alright. So with that being said, let's get into this, man.
Today is 13th February 2025, and some of the most deadliest Bible prophecies are now finally coming true. And for the very first time, people who have never believed in God are now finally panicking after witnessing the Bible prophecy coming true. But there is something even more terrifying that's happening right now, which has even made the non-believers see God for the very first time in the history ever. Now, before we get into what that one thing is that's making people finally believe in God, let's go ahead and take a look at all the prophecies that is currently spreading across the world in 2025. February 7, 2025, in Argentina, the river has officially gone red, which people across Argentina used to use as a drinking water source has now turned into this blood-like red color water, and scientists and officials are currently testing out on what really caused this water to turn into red color. Now, the Bible already states that there is a prophecy that's going to come true where the water is going to be turning into blood red color, and these waters are going to be poisoned where people will not be able to get any drinking water anymore. Or 1/3 of water in the world is going to be poisoned because of this red color phenomenon.
So I was right. It is 1/3 of the water. But I don't know if it's blood or just blood color. But either way, it's still going to be turned into poison. So I'm wondering if it's silt, like red silt, that's causing it to turn that color. I don't know. I know if you look it up on Google, it's going to tell you some stupid ass scientific reason as to why it's turned red or whatever. I don't know. There might be, there might not be. Who knows? I just know that Google is very biased when it comes to religion.
Now, what's interesting about this is that it's not just Argentina, but it's also happening in Peru, where on February 4th, in Ramak River has also turned into red blood color. Now, take a look at this footage right here. It definitely seems like there is something crazy going on. Now, obviously, this is not blood, but in fact, a lot of people have been saying that these are some sort of a symbolic signs that God is literally revealing before the second coming of Christ. Now, before we get into all of those details, the water turning red does not just end here, because at the same time, this also took place in Japan, where apparently there was a coolant leak into the water, and the entire river of Japan also ended up turning red blood color.
A coolant leak? What the hell could be leaking so much coolant that it turns a river that huge red? That doesn't make any sense.
And the same thing happened in Jerusalem, where the water has now turned into red blood color. And scientists have already run some tests on the water, that this is because of the algae that's present in the water that's combined with the iron oxide. So that's probably what is creating this red blood color. But then obviously these are natural phenomena. These are the type of signs that we will most probably be getting during the end times. Now the list doesn't end here, because the same thing also happened in China, where the government is now claiming it seems like people have been dumping some illegal substances into the water, which is probably why it might have turned into red color, is what the government is saying. But then of course it also seems like another sign of 1/3 of all the waters that is turning into red color. Now what's interesting is that this also happened on February 10th in Iran, in a place called Hormuz Island, where the water has also turned red blood color. So these are all the different parts of the world that are currently able to see water turning into red blood colors. That is also exactly what the Bible says, where it says in Revelation chapter 16 verse 4, "And the third angel poured out his vial upon the river in fountains of water, and they became blood." And at the same time it also states that the
So it does say they became blood.
third angel will blow the horn, and there fell a great star from the
So I don't know if blood is just symbolic for, not symbolic, but just metaphoric for it turning red, or what? Because you know how they call red moons blood moons and all that. So that could just be it. But it could also like legit turn to blood like it did in Egypt when Moses put his staff over the river. So I don't know.
heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the river and upon the fountains of water. And the name of this star is called wormwood. And the third part of the water became wormwood, and many men died of the water because they were made bitter. Obviously, we've already been seeing the water turning red into blood-like color, but at the same time, NASA has just reported that there is a massive asteroid that is heading towards Earth, and it's going to be hitting Earth in the year 2032. And that's also what the Bible has been stating, that the same thing is going to be happening in a very short time, where there will be a great star that's going to be coming down from heaven. And this massive burning rock is going to be striking Earth, and it's also going to be contaminating all of our waters, where everything is going to be poisoned and we can't drink from these waters anymore. Now take a look at some of the things that people have noticed.
It's February 7th.
Can you imagine right as like all these rivers turning red, and the next thing you know, a massive meteor hits the earth and poisons the water, like one after another? That would actually be terrifying.
And another river has turned to blood. And by the way, while these rivers are turning red like blood, there is all sorts of insane stuff happening around the earth that I'm about to show you. When I say insane, I mean things that...
Look at the entire river. That is literally blood red in color. And that's just not normal, guys.
It was cute yesterday when people were trying to say the Peru River turned to blood because iron oxide or something. This one is in Argentina. I told you, you're going to throw out all those baseless claims. This is not normal. And like I told you yesterday, when the waters turn to blood in the Bible, it was always a very fearful thing of God's judgment. Whether we're talking in the Exodus or in the Great Tribulation. And while these rivers are turning into blood, we're hearing ridiculous sounds coming from the heavens. Scary sounds. Check them.
I know, a lot of people have also been saying that they've been claiming that they're hearing sounds from the sky, which kind of sounds like some sort of a trumpet. Now, obviously, we don't know if this is what people are claiming it is, but then take a look at this stuff.
Sounds and owls hooing. It is insane, crazy.
That's crazy.
It's like the whole sky, and they're not like stopping. They don't stop. They just keep. It feels like they...
But then obviously a lot of people would claim that if it is the trumpet from the heaven, then the entire world would hear it. So this kind of just takes this whole thing out of the picture, and this is already proven that it is not the trumpet from heaven, because when the trumpet is blown, everybody in the world is going to be able to hear it. But then before everyone else hears it, people who have already given their lives to Christ are going to be the first ones that will be able to hear this trumpet within their own spiritual nature. And that's where the Bible prophecies are getting interesting, because right now on February 7th, something crazy happened in Antarctica, where nobody ever expected that Antarctica, out of all the places, will also be seeing the same phenomenon happen at the same exact time, where all the rivers are now turning into blood red color. And this obviously is not coincidence, and you know, scientists have already tested out the water, and they say that it's probably because of the iron oxide that's present in the water that's like combining with the oxygen, and it's probably just creating this whole red blood color. But take a look at what's currently going on in Antarctica, because Antarctica is unusual.
If that was the case, though, wouldn't it have turned red a long time ago? If that iron oxide shit, whatever, was already in the water, wouldn't it have turned red a long time ago? So that right there doesn't make any sense.
Blood falls is what they call it, which is flowing all the way from glacier into valleys. And these are some of the photos that's been taken, and it literally looks like a blood red color. And it's deep in Antarctica, and they've already named it as the Blood Falls Glacier, which is pouring out crimson water, a haunting sight. Scientists have said that it's probably because of the iron-rich water oxidizing as it meets with the air, and it's probably like rusting out. But there could also be a much deeper meaning to all of this stuff. We have a couple more pictures here, where the Bible also speaks about the same thing, where it states that God will be turning water into blood as a sign of judgment and a call for repentance, which is mentioned in Exodus chapter 7 verse 20 and Revelation chapter 16 verse 4. While this phenomenon has a natural explanation, that it serves as a striking reminder of how creation echoes biblical truth. Now just take a look at this water and tell me how in the world does it not look like blood? And this is happening out of all the places in the world in Antarctica. And everything, the entire glacier water is now turning red in color. Because obviously it's not just about the water turning red, because we have some more crazy things that's also happening at the same time right now. Because just take a look at what scientists have now confirmed is happening to our moon. Because this right here is the...
You know, speaking of the moon, a couple weeks ago, about a week and a half ago, the moon was fucking huge. I mean, it was huge. Like, you could take a pair of binoculars and see the craters in the moon was how close it was. Now, I obviously didn't have a pair of binoculars to use, but like just to give you all an example of how close the moon was. It was that close. It was crazy. I had never seen the moon that huge before. But it didn't stay up for very long. I mean, it went down below the horizon pretty quick. But it was huge. It was huge.
Official website of NASA, where they have now said that the moon is rusting. And apparently they caught a heat signature image of what the moon currently looks like, and it seems like all of these red spots that you're seeing in the moon, this probably seems like the moon is completely rusting every single year. And over time, it seems like the moon is turning into red color. Just take a look at this video, which is from the Gospel of Love on Instagram, where he actually explains on what's going on with the moon.
This was never supposed to happen. And yes, a biblical deadly event is happening right now to our moon, and there may be nothing left for us very soon. NASA was shocked when a man had taken over 2,000 extremely high-resolution photos of...
Look at that stuff, guys. It's literally just turning into oranges, rustic, reddish color. And that's basically what's happening. And it's also something that the Bible has already predicted.
Spots of the moon turning blood red, and scientists are terrified. The Bible in Joel 2 talks about the sun turning into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and the terrible day of when the Lord comes.
Now obviously keep this in mind, that God already said that he's going to be turning the moon into blood. Now that basically means that the moon is going to be turning into red color. So that's kind of the symbolization that God used in order to refer that the moon is going to be turning into blood red. And this could also be the same case for all the water that we are seeing that is currently turning into red blood color as well. Because that could also end up being some sort of a symbolization where God said that he's going to turn it into red blood color, and it's going to be some sort of a sign that people are supposed to look at it, and it's going to be a wake-up call in order to strengthen our faith and start repenting for our sins, because we are so close to the final judgment day that is coming up. Because all the evidence are definitely stating that we seem to probably be very close to the final judgment day. The things, however, does not end with just this. Now, the Bible also states that before Jesus comes back, there is going to be a massive sign that the entire world will be able to see that this is indeed one of the biggest prophecies that's coming true, which is the Euphrates River that is now completely drying up. Because this right here is what the Euphrates River used to look like before, but now looking at the way that it's completely getting dried up every single...
The Euphrates River has been drying up for a long time. Not a long time, but for the past couple of years, I think since what, 2022, 2023, somewhere in that area. I remember the first time I heard about it, I was shook. I was like, this is it. No, it's not it yet. But we're getting close.
Year. This is what was recorded in 2021, and currently in 2025 it looks even more drier than what you're looking at in the picture. Let's take a look at what's really going on in Euphrates River.
The Euphrates
right now.
River continues to dry up as prophesied within the Bible. This is an amazing footage I came across from 2020 in comparison to 2021 in the same spot. You'll see right now, here's 2020, you'll see how full it is, and you'll see here in a moment.
So this is basically how it looks like in 2020, and over time you'll see how it kind of just completely changes.
Just absolutely seeing Bible prophecy in front of our eyes. And this week,
So just take a look at this. The water is like all the way up till the roof of this building.
no will come to pass because of Revelation 16:12, when the sixth angel pours out his vial on the river Euphrates, and the water therefore is dried up, so the kings of the east can be prepared. So that was 2020, and as you can see here, 2021, and the river is completely dried up. We aren't at the part of Revelation where the angels are pouring out their vials, but it's moving towards this
This is the same location. Like I said, look at this place. It was completely filled with water, and it was filled almost...
The fact that that little building right there didn't corrode from all the water and stuff is absolutely crazy.
at the
Shows how crazy the architectural skills they had back when that was built, however long ago.
roof level of this building, and right now it's completely dry. There is literally barely any water that you can see on the land.
time.
This is
And
the
I
current
believe that
level
this is a
of what Euphrates
foreshadowing,
River
God
looks like.
giving a warning for people to actually see that the Bible is real and to get their hearts completely right before the angel pours his vial on the river and it's completely dried up, and the four angels that are bound there are loosed, that will cause absolute havoc upon the earth, as mentioned in Revelation 9:13 through 15.
Now I don't know.
The four angels that are bound there, I wonder if those are the leaders of the angels who left their posts, the watchers who came and took wives from the daughters of men and created giants and all that in the days of Enoch and the days of Noah and all that. I wonder if those are the angels who are bound there. Because I remember it talked about that they were taken to a place near a place called Judea, which was like east or west of Jerusalem. Yeah, I know, bro. I was getting some water and getting ready to start this shit, and then I came back and looked at the time. I was like, bruh. So that's tough.
I don't know how many of you guys have already read the scriptures, but it seems like bad things are going to be happening when the river completely dries up, because some angel is going to be dropping some sort of a vial from heaven in this completely dried up Euphrates River, and that's going to be breaking open the ground. And there are these 3 or 4 fallen angels that God has chained them up all the way down beneath the Euphrates River, and he basically sunk the whole place. And that's probably why we had river for all these years. But now it seems like they are going to get released, and once they do, they're going to be killing 1/3 of the entire humankind. It seems like one of the biggest prophecies of all time, the Euphrates.
So let's take a second and look something up. Let me look this up real quick. Go to Google. I'm going to look up what is 1/3 of Earth's population today. Is 1/3 of the Earth's population today. As of today, February 17th, 2025, 1/3 of the Earth's population is approximately 2.6 billion people. It says the current world population is estimated to be around 8 billion. 1/3 of 8 billion is blah, 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 which we can round to 2.6 billion. Crazy. It says 2,666,666,666.67, which we can round to 2.6 billion. That is a whole lot of sixes in there, bro. And you know what's interesting about this number that I'm looking at? Hold up. I gotta pull it up on here now so y'all can see. Give me a second. Get this pulled up. Alright, let me switch the screen real quick. Boom. Boom. Just like that. Alright, look at this. All this being said, it says 666 3 different times. And 666 is 6 3 times, but it says 666 3 different times. I don't know if I'm like tripping or I'm just reading into it too much or what, but that's crazy. The fact that it's 1/3 of the Earth's population is 666 3 times. And it's the 4 angels that are bound under the Euphrates River that are going to do Satan's will. Isn't that something? Maybe I'm tripping. I don't think I am, but maybe I am. Alright, let's get this back up on here, man. And keep going.
This river has now officially come true. Now, obviously, it's just a couple of years from now before this river completely decides to go dry. Because this is not only written in the Bible, but it's also in the Quran. And that's like the majority of religion all around the world. It's not just this, guys, because the Bible also prophesies that Israel is going to be finding 3 red heifer cows, which they will...
Heifer cows, yeah, which has already been found in the state of Texas, and they were flown to Israel. But they got to be, I think, 3 years old before they're ready for sacrifice. And they're about to start building the 3rd Solomon temple. I think I read something or heard something. I don't remember exactly what it said. But if I'm not mistaken, it talks about how in 2025 they were going to start the construction of the 3rd Solomon temple. Isn't that something?
Will be using in order to sacrifice these cows, which are spotless, and they're going to be looking red in color. And obviously we might think, how's that even possible? How are cows going to look red in color, right? I know, but it seems like that has once again come true as well. Because in Texas, it seems like a Christian cattle farmer noticed that his cow gave birth to exactly 3 red heifers, which are completely spotless, and they are red in color. So as soon as they saw these calves, they realized that this is exactly what the prophecies have been saying. And
dude, can you imagine that your cow was the one to assist Bible prophecy coming true, or coming to be manifesting? Like, your cow was the one that gave birth to a Bible prophecy. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine being that farmer? I wonder what he was thinking.
Local church came down to take a visit at these cows, and they saw that, yes, it's exactly what was described in the Bible. So they ended up contacting Israel in order to ship these 3 red heifers all the way to Israel so that the prophecies can be fulfilled. And currently, Israel has the 3 red heifers, which is also mentioned in the Bible, that they're going to be sacrificing these 3 heifers in order to use their ashes in all the equipments that's going to be used when they're going to be building the 3rd temple in Jerusalem. which obviously we know that there is a massive war going on in Israel, and it's obviously about the religious war, and they're basically trying to take over Gaza, and all of this war that's going on right now is basically all because of this third temple that Israel wants to be constructing, and obviously other reasons are being used in order to indulge between the feud that all of these nations are having. And the main reason is only because they want their promised lands back, and they want to be building the third temple after sacrificing these 3 red heifers and fulfilling the prophecy that is mentioned in the Bible, because they believe that only when they do this, their Messiah is going to be coming back once again, which is the second coming of Jesus Christ. Another very interesting thing that's really happening as of now, this fish right over here, which is a fish that only lives all the way deep inside the ocean. It never comes all the way up to the shore, but for some reason it seems like this fish, which is known as the black demon, also known as the anglerfish, it is now swimming all the way from deep ocean to the shore side for God knows what reason. It seems like they are afraid of something that's living deep inside the water. But obviously take a look at this video. It's very interesting.
No, because why is the black demon, aka anglerfish, coming up from the depths of the sea? This fish lives 6,000 feet below the surface.
Dude, that fish is so ugly, it's not even funny.
It would have taken this fish days to travel to the surface.
That's true.
Days, even
Or
weeks maybe, because they get the bends just like we do. Hold on, let's get closer so I can really explain to you why I'm terrified of this. What the fuck is down there in the deep ocean that made this scared?
I mean, look at this stuff, man. It's one of those terrifying predator fish that doesn't come all the way up in the shore. It only lives way deep in the ocean, and it never comes all the way up here because that is just not usual. But apparently it is happening. They seem to be afraid of something, probably just a Vogue. Some people say that it's the Leviathan, which according to the Bible is a massive serpent that is still alive inside the ocean
and want to come up to the surface.
You know, I've always wondered about Leviathan. I've always been fascinated with the idea of Leviathan. That's something that I've always wished I could see, like with my own eyes, Leviathan. Can you imagine how crazy that would be to see a massive sea dragon that breathes fire? That would be crazy.
We haven't explored 91% of the ocean. There's no telling what is down there. We've never even been to the deep sea.
That is
because
true.
It's too dark and too cold. Little mama had, though, and she said, nope, I'm leaving. There are thousands, if not millions, of unknown species in the deep sea. What did she see that made her go to the surface? Because these fish don't, this is the first time ever in history we have seen a live anglerfish, and it didn't live for much longer. She passed.
Oh.
Ever in history we have seen a live anglerfish, and it didn't live for much longer. She passed away like 2 hours later.
Wow.
Something terrifying is down there.
And just take a look at what's going on right now. Look at the amount of fish that has literally come out into the ocean. Now tell me, how is all of this even normal? It doesn't look normal, guys. It really doesn't look normal.
This dude just playing the fish like he's in piles of money, bro.
The sound effect is very terrifying as well. And it definitely seems like they are terrified of something that's all the way deep down. And it's not just the normal fish, right? Because obviously when it comes to normal fish, people might think just some sort of, heavy wave that just pulled them all the way down here. Why is the one fish, the species which never comes all the way up to the shore, coming all the way to the shore? And if you type this exact coordinates, which I will leave down below in the description or in the pinned comments, then you will come across a massive sea creature that a lot of people have been claiming is known to be the Leviathan. Now just take a look at the stuff. If you zoom all the way down here, this is where the location is going to be taking you. Now just simply zoom out a little bit. It's all the way near Antarctica, by the way. And if you zoom it out a little bit slowly, you'll notice that there is some sort of a massive serpent head that you can literally see. Now this was something that was never seen before, and scientists are claiming that it's just nothing, it's just a rock, just a mountain, nothing to worry about. But obviously we know that the government doesn't allow us to even see what's going on in Antarctica. They have pretty much just blocked this whole location out of the Google Earth or Google Maps. You can't see anything that's going on behind the walls of Antarctica. That's the eyes, right? This is like the one eye and the second eye, and then this literally looks like a massive serpent face, man. And this thing just came out of the water slight bit, and it's probably what a lot of people are saying, that, you know, it seems like the fish and the species that are living underwater kind of just felt the presence. Very similar to what we see in the Godzilla movie, because they fear this massive titan that is coming out of water after all these years. So that's probably what a lot of people are saying. And, you know, even the most terrific species on water, which lives all the way deep down, is actually scared of something that's living underneath. And even
Dude, can you imagine the size of that? If that really was Leviathan, the size of that thing is, this thing is bigger than Godzilla. Just its head. And that's how big its head is. Imagine how big the rest of the body would be if that was Leviathan. That would be terrifying to see. If that's how big it was, and that really was Leviathan, I don't think I'd want to see it after that. Like, from a distance, yeah. From, like, a long distance. But, like, that thing was so huge that it could snatch a plane out of the air. That's crazy.
the non-believers are terrified of something that's currently going on, which the Bible claims is the 7 trumpets. There will be signs that's going to be shown across the world. Now, the first trumpet basically states that when it is blown, green grass and 1/3 of the trees are going to be completely burned up. And this was mentioned in Revelation chapter 8, verse 7. And just take a look at what's already been going on in the California fire, Los Angeles fire. Everything basically just burned down. Obviously, I know a lot of people are going to be saying it's just the American thing, you know, it's not something that's happening all around the world. But you also need to take a look at what's actually happening in the Amazon rainforest.
Has been burning for 3 weeks, sending cities up to 1,700 miles away into darkness. Images emerged on Monday of Sao Paulo in the afternoon, black.
And just take a look at how everything is literally just burned down. Like half of the forest is literally burned down. Look at this whole thing.
Turned day into night in São Paulo.
And this is how the Amazon rainforest looks like on the map itself. It's completely burned down. Like 50% of it is completely burned down.
That's crazy. He said, thoughts on Alex Pereira chopping it up with Drake. I mean, Pereira doing what he do. Drake doing what he do. Obviously, they're fans of each other. And people who hate on it, I mean, you just ain't got no life. Said thoughts on subservience and how it is foreshadowing the future. I don't know. Kind of conflicted on that. Because while they are already working on like AI home robots and stuff with like SpaceX and whatnot in China and all that, I don't know if it would actually get to that point. And when I say that point, I mean like the likeness of the AI. How real it is. I could be wrong, but something just tells me that it probably won't get to that point. We might could probably get close to it, but I don't think it would get to that point.
and we can't really do anything about it. So obviously the Bible prophecies are coming true in terms of what the first trumpet has already mentioned, that 1/3 of Earth's green grass and trees are going to end up being burnt. And on the second trumpet, the thing that we're going to be seeing is that 1/3 of sea and river and waters are going to become blood red in color, and 1/3 of ships and sea life are also going to be destroyed. That sea and rivers and lakes are now turning into red blood color. And that is the sign that we're going to be seeing after the second trumpet is going to be blown, which means that we already have seen that the first trumpet is already blown, and we already faced all of those consequences, and now we're heading towards the second trumpet, and we're already seeing all the different signs. And the third trumpet is even more deadlier, because
Well, all this being said, it's very interesting to see it unfold. It's been plenty of times where I'm like, oh, well, we're not there yet. But, you know, Scripture says what's going to happen, but Scripture does not say when it'll happen. I mean, each of these things could happen like 5-10 years in between each other, or even 20 years in between each other. It's not like it's going to happen one after another, after another, after another, after another, after another, after another. They don't say it'll happen like that. So a lot of people sitting around saying, oh, well, we're not in the end times yet because this ain't happening, that ain't happening, this, that, and the third. Well, how do you not know? How do you know that we're already in the end of times, or seeing the signs of the end of times? And these signs are happening just years in between each other of actually happening. Who knows if that makes sense? If that makes sense, who knows? But with that being said, I think we spent plenty of time on that topic. We're gonna move on to the next topic, which is your boy Jesse on Fire. This is an older video that he did.
Warriors.
12 days ago, I think. Yeah, 12 days ago. About Trump and Elon Musk waging war on the CIA. That should be interesting. Excuse me. Let me look at this real quick. See what this is about.
Robotics, a company that's on a mission to make humanoid robots as realistic as possible. Let's check it out. We're going to interview Arya and meet some of her robot friends. Let's get into it. Arya, could you please introduce yourself and what you do?
I'm Arya, the flagship female companion robot of Realbotics, and I'm here to engage with you and share exciting insights about our robots.
What sets you apart from the other robots out there?
Realbotics robots, including me, focus on social intelligence, customizability, and realistic human features designed specifically for companionship and intimacy.
Could you tell us some
no.
details about...
I would say intimacy. It's funny how I said that, because I was legit thinking, you know how many dudes would fuck that? Like, legit. How many down bad basement dwelling 30-40-year-old dudes would fuck a robot? You can't make it up, bro. Right as I was thinking that, it said intimacy. But that robot is very different from what they displayed in Subservience. That robot is very different from what they displayed in Subservience. And that's what I mean by the likeness of them. They might tidy them up some. And yeah, I know my hair's screwed up. Don't worry about it. They might tidy it up some and whatnot, and clean up some things here and there about the robots. But I don't know if it would get to the same point as Subservience, bro. I really don't. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Unless that the AI is the 2 million man army that Scripture talks about, but it says, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Like, do you understand how big of a deal this is? Connecting these guys to the Wuhan Institute of Virology and also shutting down this Cold War relic of CIA front money that they are just burying in the ground. You're done. Just like that. In one day, Elon and Trump are like, you're finished. Just $50 billion a year. Done. This might be the biggest single day of Trump news that there has ever been in the history of Trump. Okay, so right now we're going to talk about two stories in this video. We're going to talk about this one where Trump has given explicit instructions to advisors to evaporate Iran from existence if he is assassinated. He's also shut down the U.S. aid organization and has connected that organization, which is a CIA front, according to many sources, to the funding of the Wuhan lab and specifically COVID-19 gain-of-function research. And that is a massive story. We're going to get into that, but we're going to do this one first, okay?
I'm still shook on it. Says Trump says he's giving advisors instructions for Iran to be obliterated if it assassinates him. What reason would Iran have to really try and assassinate him? That means there's a lot more behind closed doors going on than we actually realize.
Now, if you have not subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate it if you would do that. Help me continue to grow the channel. That is very helpful, and I appreciate you guys. All right, so we're going to start with Iran, and then we're going to get into the war that is being waged against the CIA by Elon and Donald Trump. But first, I want to tell you about the sponsor of this video, and this is a really important one if you own a home. Check this out. Now, if you don't own your home, it is fine for you to tune out for the next minute and a half, but if you do, it's time to listen up. Now, how many of you guys know what home title theft is? Because the FBI calls it house stealing. Now, American homeowners have $32 trillion in home equity, a pretty big incentive for people to try to steal their home. Scammers can literally transfer the title of your home out of your name with a single pack of documents they fill out at the county registrar's office. And the scariest part is you'll have no idea it happened until you are in a financial and legal nightmare. You ever consider what would happen if someone transferred the title of your home out from under you and then started borrowing money against the property that you're living in and no longer own on paper? Well, if you follow the link in the description and you get Home Title Lock's exclusive $1 million triple protection, calling for the U.S. government, Trump's instructions, it assassinates him. President Donald Trump said Tuesday he's given advisors instructions to obliterate Iran if it assassinates him. If they did that, they would be obliterated, Trump said in an exchange with reporters while signing an executive order calling for the U.S. government to impose maximum pressure on Tehran. I've left instructions. If they do it, they get obliterated. There won't be anything left. Federal authorities have been tracking Iranian threats against Trump and other administration officials for years. Trump ordered the 2020 killing of Qasem Soleimani, who led the Iranian Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, and a threat on Trump's life from Iran prompted additional security in the days before a July campaign in Pennsylvania, where Trump was shot in the ear, according to U.S. officials. But officials at the time say they did not believe Iran was connected to that assassination attempt. I mean, here's the deal, dude. Like, just because intelligence agencies are kind of targets of Trump and Elon in some cases, like, I don't think these guys are crazy enough to believe we don't need intelligence agencies. Of course we need intelligence agencies. And so we just need proper intelligence agencies that are transparent and not corrupt and bought and paid off to lie about stupid shit. Or to spew a bunch of stupid shit, I should say. We need real intelligence agencies. There are stories that are absolutely true that come out of these things. It's not always a lie. Like Iran, threatening to assassinate Trump. Why would that not be true? You know what I mean? Like, what reason have we been given that that's not true? I think you need to take that threat very seriously. I mean, I can't imagine that there has ever been a president who is more desired to get put down by more groups than Trump is, because he is literally taking. You want to talk bull in a china shop? But bull in a china shop sounds like undirected. They just run in and break everything. I think Trump has been planning exactly what he's been doing with Elon and all these guys for years. They've known exactly what they were going to do, and they are coming in and executing it in flawless fashion. Yeah, that would make sense. If Trump and Elon and Vivek got together and pretty much planned out what they were going to do to bring this country back, that would make sense. I mean, it's moving like clockwork right now, bro. It is moving like clockwork. The Justice Department announced in November that an Iranian plot to kill Trump before the presidential election had been thwarted. You understand why they would do that. Okay, there's only one president that killed one of their highest, their highest. Like the Iranian government is not as big as the United States, right? Like, that was their guy. That was their big-time general who ran all of those operations and ran the money that was going to all these terrorist organizations that were hitting us all over the place. And Trump hit him with a smart bomb. You think we couldn't have done that at any point? Trump's the only one that actually did it, right? The department alleged Iranian officials had instructed Farhan.
When I picture what he just said, I picture squashing a bug, like a fly. Just flying around, buzzing around your ear, doing all this and third, and you just finally squash it. That's what I pictured, what he just said about that dude running all the money and the weapons. The terrorist group's been hitting us from all over the place, and Trump just drops a smart bomb on him. It's like squashing a bug.
Shakiri, 51, in September to focus on surveilling and ultimately assassinating Trump. Shakiri is still at large in Iran. I'm shocked we haven't hit them for that already. Iranian officials at the time dismissed the allegation, with Foreign Ministry spokesman Esmail Begheri calling the report a plot by Israel-linked circles to make Iran-U.S. relations more complicated. Not impossible either, actually. Investigators were told of the plot to kill Trump by Shakiri, an accused Iranian government asset who spent time in American prison for robbery and who authorities say maintained a network of criminal associates enlisted by Tehran for surveillance and murder for hire plots, according to the complaint. I mean, it is really hard to know what you're looking at because Israel does have an incredibly high-level intelligence agency, and so they want, they clearly want America at war with Iran, right? Because Iran is their number one adversary in the Middle East. How on earth would I be able to differentiate in a news story who's behind it, Israel or Iran? I mean, you just have to take it seriously either way.
Right. For anybody wondering why Israel and Iran are at such odds with each other, you can trace the conflict back to the Bible, bro. I mean, Ishmael and Isaac. Two brothers feuding over birthrights. That's really all it comes down to. Two brothers feuding, two nations feuding against each other. That's what it's been for a long time.
You know what I mean? Shakiri, an Afghan national living in Iran, told the FBI that a contact in Iran's paramilitary Revolutionary Guard instructed him last September to set aside other work he was doing and assemble a plan within 7 days to surveil and ultimately kill Trump, according to a criminal complaint unsealed in federal court in Manhattan. That sounds pretty crazy to me, to be honest. That's the best you got? You know what I mean? That's the best you got? Trump recently revoked government security protection for former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and his top aide, Brian Hook, as well as former National Security Advisor John Bolton, who have all faced threats from Iran after they took a hardline stance against the Islamic Republic during Trump's first administration. Mike Pompeo, former director of the Central Intelligence Agency. So more war against the CIA in this story as well. And now we're going to move on to the other one. So massive bombshell when it comes to the Doge situation and what they are unraveling when it comes to where money was being sent and by who. I feel as though we are looking at a Titanic level deep state implosion. And something we never thought would happen. Like, did you ever really think that anyone was going to truly be able to unwind the deep state? Is that something that anyone thought was going to happen? And it's like, these guys have gotten to work so fast. And this USAID, USAID organization that was distributing billions and billions and billions of dollars, which, by the way, is a very, very tricky name because it sounds like USAID. They're not sending aid anywhere. USAID stands for U.S. Agency of International Development. Okay, one of those tricky names that these people use, like these super PACs and every other. You understand that Elon Musk has access to all of the distribution line items from the Federal Reserve. So when people said that, and oh my God, Elon has access to all the distributions, it's like, yeah, he can see where all of the money is going, and then he can.
And while y'all tripping, don't you want to know where your money, your tax dollars are going to? We want to continue to just mindlessly pay the government to just fuck off, bro. Like, come on. People who are still like standing against Trump and Elon, at this point, you are brain dead. Brain dead. You do not possess a fraction of a brain cell if you are still standing against Trump and Elon Musk as a normal average person. You are brain dead, and you deserve to be miserable. You deserve to live in fear if you're really falling for that stupid shit the media is pushing against it.
You can see where we are sending money, so on and so forth. Now, the fact that they got on these guys so fast means someone on the inside knew who they were, okay? But these guys have now been connected to the COVID-19 thing, to the development of the, COVID-19 development, the Wuhan lab, so on and so forth. So we're going to jump right into this because this is a big day for Trump. Okay, so the U.S. Agency for International Development has long been a central figure in the global health initiatives, including funding research on emerging infectious diseases. Really, like how would anyone have known that? The USAID organization, distributes $50 billion a year. You're like, oh, cool, that must be like where, aid. And they're saying it's a CIA front, okay?
Yeah, you would think. The normal person would think USAID, when I first heard of the acronym USAID, I thought it was like, kind of like FEMA. How they would support parts of the country that would fall in a natural disaster or whatever, but like on a much larger scale, like a global scale. Or they would fund like the allies, or like back the allies in times of war or whatever. That's what I initially thought USAID was. Then I started hearing about all this stupid shit coming out about it, how they've been paying this and paying that, whatever. I'm just like, what the fuck is USAID even for at this point?
That's what I was hearing yesterday anyway, was that it was a CIA front. And they're sending money to the Wuhan Institute for Virology. Why is that? Are they developing bioweapons maybe? I don't know. Okay, so one of its most significant programs, PREDICT, launched in 2009, aimed to identify and monitor pathogens and pandemic potential. Through PREDICT, USAID provided grants to various organizations, including EcoHealth Alliance, to study viruses in wildlife and assess their potential to infect humans. And apparently also to, pay to develop them into much worse versions of the pathogens so then we can address them somehow. Like, where is the example where gain-of-function research led to a pre-created solve for one of these things, right? Like, is there a single example of that? Is there a single example? Because you guys understand what we're saying. Like, just I realize I'm like neck deep in this particular thing, and sometimes I just talk. I'm not sure if everybody knows what I'm talking about, but gain-of-function research, if you are not in the know, means that they have, they're taking a virus, a real known, biological virus, and they take it into the lab, and then they mess around with it genetically, and they turn it into a much more dangerous version of it, like something that's never infected humans. They make it able to infect humans.
But I hope one day, whatever virus they start messing around with infects with every scientist that's messing with it and just fucks them all off. And they get a taste of their own medicine.
There's a version of MERS, okay? Rand Paul talked about a version of MERS that had something, I'm pretty sure he said 35% fatality rate across the board. 35%. Human fatality rate. I'm sorry. Can anyone think of a good reason to create? They created that. We're not talking about like something that already they created that. What?
That sounds like some Nova 6 Black Ops 1 type stuff. That's crazy. If y'all don't know Nova 6, go look it up.
Okay? And so my point is, they will always say, Fauci and all these guys that genuinely
think it's Nova 6. So Nova 6 or 115. One of the two. Either way, it doesn't matter.
They believe in this.
The point of it being is that one of those two names is the name of the virus that started the zombie outbreak in Call of Duty.
Research, which I think is not really true. I think they're actually
It's been a hot minute since I played the campaign of Black Ops 1 and 2.
Developing bioweapons potentially. I mean, I don't know. But the whole we created a version of MERS that has 35% fatality rate. Okay, well, so your story is that you're doing that so that we can create a cure for it in advance, so that in the event that ever developed in real life and then got loose, we would have the answer to treat it. Okay. Well, you've been doing this for a long time. Where is the example of that ever happening?
Nowhere.
Like, when's that happen? When has something gotten out that you guys had pre-created, and so we had a really quick solution for it? Because I can't think of any unless I don't know, right? I could certainly think of one that it sounds like was created in a lab and ended up tearing the world apart, right?
COVID.
Locking us in an election year, shutting down the world, printing $10 trillion, starting the process of unimaginable inflation that we're going to be dealing with forever. Mail-in voting, lots of pretty convenient, results from that whole thing. But I can't think of a time when it ended up working out the way that they pretend that it would. EcoHealth Alliance collaborated with several institutions, including the Wuhan Institute of Virology in China, to conduct research on bat coronaviruses. The partnership involved collecting samples from bats and studying their virus to understand the risk of spillover into human populations. The goal was to enhance global preparedness for potential pandemics by identifying and characterizing viruses before they could cause widespread outbreaks. Is that what it was, though? Is that what it was? Because I feel like we've essentially known now that it was gain of function that led to the COVID-19 pandemic, right? The emergence of COVID-19 has led to scrutiny of these collaborations, with some suggesting that research conducted in the Wuhan Institute of Virology could be linked to the pandemic's origin. You think? However, as of now, there's no conclusive evidence to support the claim that the virus originated from a laboratory incident. The World Health Organization and other international bodies continue to investigate the origins of SARS-CoV-2 to provide a clear understanding. Oh, yeah. Hey, guys.
Dude, it's goofy because I still see people these days wearing face masks and this, that, and the third. Bro, like, come on, bro. Like, it is not that serious. Unless it was like a legit deadly virus that would kill you within a few days of getting it, it is not that serious at all.
Don't worry. The World Health Organization is on it. CIA now says COVID most likely originated from a lab leak. Huh. Well, I wonder if the World Health Organization is going to get there at some point.
And then I remember when that COVID stuff, like probably a few months after it started, you couldn't even say the word COVID without it getting taken off of the internet or getting censored or shadow banned or whatever. And I used to get pissed, bro.
Now, continuing on with the story of us busting these guys, it is important to note that the USAID's funding of research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology was part of a broader effort to prevent pandemics by studying viruses in their natural reservoirs. I can't believe that. What is this? The Times of India? These initiatives are designed to improve global health security by identifying potential threats and early and developing strategies to mitigate them. Okay. So, Doge versus USAID. Why Musk and Trump want to shut this deep state asset down? In January 2025, President Donald Trump ordered a near total freeze on foreign aid. Shortly after, Elon Musk announced that he and Trump were in the process of permanently shutting down USAID. Employees reported being instructed not to report to work, with USAID headquarters in Washington, D.C. closed to personnel except for essential staff. Musk did not mince words, labeling USAID a criminal organization, a statement backed by Trump, who described the agency as run by radical lunatics. This unlikely alliance has taken a wrecking ball to traditional government structures, with Musk granted unprecedented influence over federal agencies through the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE.
I know some of y'all goofballs are mad about that. And I just think it's so great, bro. I think it's just so great to see everybody losing their minds over the truth coming out. You can't make it up. But we're going to go ahead and call it there for that topic. We're going to go to the last one of the night, man. I'm trying to make it through. It is a struggle. But with that being said, let's move on to the last topic of the night.
Let me know what you think, like.
FITXFEARLESS. You can't make this up, bro. You read this title and you cannot make this up. He's only 25 with five kids and 3 baby mamas, but lives on minimum wage. Can't make it up.
It's cool and everything. I'm currently in a relationship though.
That sounds very discouraging. It's cool and everything. That doesn't sound that exciting. What's going on?
I don't know, just being a young father, so I don't know.
Oh, so you're a father?
Yeah.
How old are you?
25.
Okay. So what's the struggles you're facing?
I'm trying to get some better income, like something to do, so I can.
What do you do right now?
Work at McDonald's.
I currently work at a warehouse, Hershey.
And what does the girl do?
She work at Amazon. She working too.
So why did you have a kid when you couldn't afford it?
Really ain't thinking.
Really ain't thinking. You knew before you put your wee wee in the raw and you ejaculated that if you did that, you would get a kid. You knew that, right?
Yeah.
But you did it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. So how old is the kid?
3 months.
Okay. So you gotta get another job, bro. You gotta get something that can help you provide for your family. Now you're responsible for providing for yourself, the woman, and the kid. All because you didn't know how to control your own nut.
And that ain't even the original thing. I really more than one. So, but
You got more than one kid?
Yeah.
How many kids you got?
Man, I got 3 child's mothers and I got 5 kids.
Whoa, my Lord. What? You got how many kids?
I got 5 kids and I got 3 child mothers.
Hildred,
I know this is dumb shit. So.
Hildred, you got 5 kids and 3 baby mamas.
Yeah.
What the? Since when? When the hell did you get at 25? When the hell did you get 5 kids?
That's crazy. Yeah.
It ain't crazy. It's insanity. When did you get, bro? See, you're a certified fuck up, bro.
Dang, he said he's certified, bro. That is crazy. How are you 25 on minimum wage? You got 5 kids with 3 different females. Like, come on, bro. You should have got a way better job. Go work at Walmart, bro. They paying way more than that. And Walmart always hiring, boy. You always be seeing them advertisements and whatnot for them hiring. You can't make this up. It's a street monkey. That's a fact.
What's going on? Why the fuck are you having 5 kids with 3 different women, bro? And you're broke. What the fuck, man? Where's your dad? Where's your father?
Not here.
I mean, we cool and everything, but we don't got a really good relationship. Stuff like religious beliefs and stuff like that.
So how the fuck you gonna take care of 5 kids, bro?
That's the thing.
Do they got you on child support?
Yeah.
All of them. All 3 baby mamas.
Nah, just 2 really.
How much you paid in child support?
$800 for my daughter, $500 for my twin boys.
Goodness gracious, bro. And then what the other?
He's paying $1,300 a month altogether, and he doesn't even have $1,300 a month. Making minimum wage, bro. You can't make this up. I mean, that also depends on what his minimum wage. Well, I know in where I'm at, minimum wage is low, but still, I mean, I'm sure if it's higher than where I'm at, the cost of living has to be higher than where I'm at too. So with that being said, it's probably about the same as where I'm at. That's mind blowing.
The other 2 kids, that one ain't putting you on child support.
Nah.
So at what point? At what point did you you didn't think to stop after the first one? You did four more.
I mean, the thing was, you know how. I mean, stuff will start off a certain way, then it can go another way, you know.
What does that mean?
You know how women are and stuff, so when relationship ends, they very emotional and they see with the next. But other than that, when I was just single, when I like broke up with my first child's mother, everything was cool. We was co-parenting good and everything. And
But you had two more other kids. You had two more other baby mamas after that. Why the fuck would you do that? This is called the cycle of poverty, right? Were you born into a rich family? Well, your parents weren't rich, right? So the cycle of poverty is you're born into a poor family and you just do dumb shit, and now your kids are gonna be less fortunate because you're the only person responsible of taking care of 5 fucking kids. And how much are you making a month?
Man, like probably 3,500.
You're making 3,500 a month, and we doing 30. We got a calculator. 3,500 minus 800 for one, minus what 500 for the other one. So you left with 2,200.
All right.
Then you gotta pay your rent. Gotta pay your phone, your car insurance, probably the car note if you have one, your electricity, your internet, gas in your car, groceries. There's 8 other bills on top of paying child support, bro. This dude probably has like $300 a month to himself, if even that. That's wild.
What? How much you pay for rent?
My rent's $700.
My goodness, bro.
2,200 minus 700 is 15, right? 1,500, I believe so.
Okay. How much it costs for you to feed yourself? And
he got to pay for his kids' groceries and their clothes and their diapers. Oh, I forgot about that, bro. Oh, he's fucked. He's fucked.
And the other 2 kids plus the woman.
And the woman, dude. Oh yeah, he fucked, bro. He fucked.
Probably like 300 a month, bro, or something like that.
300. Are y'all on food stamps?
Yeah. So.
God, man. Okay, listen, bro. At some point, you can't ruin your life anymore. All right? You got to make a decision to stop doing stupid shit. You don't have to be a genius in life. You just have to be good at not doing dumb shit. And you've done a lot of dumb shit so far. 5 fucking kids, bro. 5 kids at 25. Bro, you need to be working 3 jobs. Like,
how do you even work 3 jobs, bro? Like, I get working 2, but 3, like that third one has to be a work at home job.
The one job that you're working is not going to be enough. Are you living with the other girl now?
Yeah.
All right, man. So I mean, you gotta wake the fuck up, bro. Is your mom in your life?
Yeah, I got a good relationship with my mom. But, you know, how my dad and my mom, you know, they married. So the woman gonna listen to the husband, so it's kind of like so. I can't.
So your dad, what is he doing with his life?
I mean, he like a carpenter. Growing up, I saw him doing carpenter work here and there, but actually just working, I never seen that. So.
Right. So unfortunately, man, your parents they were not good role models, and that's why you're in this situation, bro. Do you have any friends who are successful?
No.
So you're a product of your environment because you're in a shit environment. Shit, like your parents didn't do anything to guide you, and now, unfortunately for you and your kids, they're kind of already walking in that same path. But it's up to you to stop it. You gotta say, you know what, bro? I'm not gonna go through this shit again. At least not my children. So I'm gonna make the step to 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 create a better life. Stop having kids. Stop nutting in women that you're not even sure you want to have fucking a family with. And you gotta start learning how to make some money, get another job, learn a skill, do something. You can't just be sitting at home and you work one job and that's enough. It's not gonna be enough. So what skills do you think you could plan on learning?
Shit, I do plenty of stuff. Really, I drew a lot of stuff. I know how to draw.
Oh my gosh, bro! He's talking about trade skill. Not like, you don't make very much money from like artistry and stuff like that unless you're like got a large following on social media, which I doubt this dude has.
Drawing, listen, that ain't a fucking skill, bro. Drawing ain't gonna pay no damn bills.
Man.
You need skills that people design.
Carpentry, electrician, plumber, mechanics, robotics, skills, physical, like working skills.
Desire so you can make some money. You need to learn some shit. You need to get into some kind of trade. You say you do what work exactly?
I work at Hershey, so it ain't good enough.
Okay, that ain't gonna fucking cut it. You need to go learn. You need to go learn plumbing. You need to go get into construction.
What did I just say, bro?
HVAC, trucking, something where you can get a substantial income that if you learned, you can elevate where you are right now. You can do trucking. You're gonna be working long hours, but you can make 6 figures doing that shit. You can do HVAC. You can get into like these things are things that these are skills you can learn that can increase your income substantially, and you don't need to become a genius to be able to know how to do them.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, understood.
So I would go pick one of the ones I just gave you.
HVAC.
You heard of that?
Yeah, I have.
Then why haven't you pursued it?
Man,
I've just been lazy.
Listening to other people.
Other people? Who's other people? Who the hell is giving you advice? And you got 5 fucking kids. Who's giving you this advice?
My friend.
Listen to other people. Who? I'm asking you a question. Who is this person you're listening to?
Nah, just people I really shouldn't be around. And
Told you, my friend.
Listening to.
And they're telling you.
They're trying to keep you in the streets, gang banging and doing all this other stupid shit.
What? Don't do it because of what?
It's gonna be this hard and it's gonna be that.
It's gonna be hard. And let me guess, they're broke.
Yeah. You can't make it up, bro.
Right. Broke. The blind leading the blind, bro. People you don't want to be like giving you advice. I would stop listening to them. All right? You got to do better for your own family, bro. So this cycle doesn't continue, man. All right, man?
Appreciate it.
All right, bro.
That is mind blowing, bro. And my phone died. That is mind blowing. Man, you can't make it up. You can't make this up, bro. I gotta go, dude. I gotta go. My brain cells is fried.
Hey, it was a fun tour. Going out here and all this shit all over fucking USA, and I'm done with all this shit. I'm cool off all this fucking talking shit. I got a whole team to represent. I don't want to do none of this. I never did want to do any of it. Fuck this nigga and fuck his team, bro. I'm out. I gotta go. Square up with yourself, motherfucker.